Ain't been giving it to me lately, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. Just give me a little minute here and I'll be up in a second. Mm-hmm. Would you be mine? We love for. All right. All right. All right. This is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Off to a little bit of a late start today. Got a lot going on. Um, got another baseball game tonight. Got a chance for a upset. The team I'm playing tonight, this is their fourth game of the week, which means they're going to be deep in their pitching rotation. Not so much with me. Only had one game this week, and I was able to find a way to save some arms. And we can go over there and play like we played the other day. Good defense. Cut down on the errors, which we've started to do. We can cut down on more errors and make more contact with the ball. The team we're played them before. Nothing great. We're playing 500 ball. The way we are right now, 500 ball would be a godsend for us, but that's okay. We're building toward that. And I think that if we can get off to a decent start, put a couple runs on the board early, get a little confidence, we might just have a chance tonight. So it'll be exciting. I wish that I can manage the game, film the game, and comment during the game at the same time, but I don't have enough electronic devices to do that or the arms. So I can just tell you about it as it goes on. Okay, last night the NCAA tournament started the Sweet 16. My picks yesterday, and they're a matter of record. You can go back and check and see what I said. I thought that Duke would beat Arizona, and they did. I thought that Florida would pull away from Maryland late, which they did. Alabama and BYU, that was I didn't know really how that game was going to go, except for the fact that I thought that Alabama would pull away late, but it didn't go that way at all. Alabama came out shooting red hot from the 3-point line. Matter of fact, Mark Sears, he broke the tournament record for threes in the game. I think he had 10 of them. And Alabama just couldn't miss. And they knocked off BYU. BYU played great. It's just that you can't keep trading twos for threes and expect to win. Now, one note about Alabama, they were in the Final Four last year, losing to the eventual champion UConn. But the thing is, when you're red hot in one game, you're not going to shoot that way the second game. Maybe you will. I mean, maybe a stroke of luck comes your way twice, but normally it doesn't work that way. So as hot as Alabama was last night, they might just be a whole lot colder on Saturday. And that wouldn't be a good thing to do in the regional championship game. So hoping Alabama can make enough shots to be competitive as they're going to take on Duke for a spot in the Final Four. All right. And the other game, Texas Tech and Arkansas, I almost went exactly like I thought it would. I thought that Arkansas had a chance to beat Texas Tech, and they would give Texas Tech hell the whole game. But they were up by 12, the most I saw, and 10 at halftime. And Texas Tech raged back and sent the game in overtime and ended up winning the game. So I felt that Tech would win the game, but they were going to catch holy hell from Arkansas, which they did. So when that happened, that left me 4-0 for the night. And now coming into yesterday, I was 39-9. Now I'm sitting on 43-9. So the picks now I'm about to give you. CLK Xylon, how you doing, man? Um, so tonight, I don't know what time the game start, but I'm going to go with this. Let's start in the South. You got Michigan State taking on, and who's Michigan State taking on Ole Miss, I believe. Ole Miss, they surprised me in the second round game by shooting well, better than they did to close out the game against, um, and who they beat in the first round. They beat North Carolina in the first round, primarily by being hot in the first half, and they had to hold on the second half. But then I didn't think they would bounce back and play well the second game against Iowa State, and they actually played better than what I expected. They're going to have to play that way tonight if they expect to stay close to Michigan State. I think once you have a Cinderella and they start to believe, then they have an opportunity to pull off an upset. So I expect Ole Miss to show up tonight and be there in the second half, the last 10 minutes of the second half, and Michigan State should be able to get away from them late in the game. JC, how you doing, man? They should be able to get away from them late in the game. So I'm going to go with Michigan State there. And then top seed Auburn is going up against Michigan and those 2 7-footers. Very dangerous opponent for Auburn. But Auburn, they've gotten over that punch drunk syndrome they had when they lost those 3 or 4 in a row, 3 out of 4 toward the end of the season going into the tournament. And I think they got their legs back. And I think they are a better team than Michigan, but they can't afford to start going and doing the same things that got them in that losing streak before. So I think Auburn have a little bit of trouble adjusting to those 7-footers in the first half, but then they should pull away from Michigan in the second half. So I'm going to go with Auburn and Michigan State, and they're going to play on Sunday for the regional championship. And then the Midwest, you got the rematch between Tennessee and Kentucky. Kentucky whipped Tennessee twice during the regular season. If you ask a Kentucky fan, they're going to tell you that we're supposed to beat Tennessee. I don't care what kind of team they got because we're Kentucky. Well, Tennessee, they don't want to hear that. They feel like they're the better team. And I think that despite Rick Barnes, they're going to knock off Kentucky because, it's awfully hard to beat a team 3 times. But I don't really 100% adhere to that idea because if I'm the better team, I'm just the better team. I don't care if we play 15 times, I'm going to beat you 15. You might get lucky or maybe the odds will work in your favor once or twice. But if we play 15 times and I'm the better team, I'm going to beat you at least 13. So I'm not even worried about it. So in that case, I think Tennessee is going to show up and they're going to overcome even their own head coach to win this game tonight. So I expect Tennessee to get by Kentucky. And then the number 1 seed, Houston, nobody really expected Purdue to be back in this position. They were the number 1 overall seed last year, and they ended up losing the championship game late to UConn. UConn was the best team in the country, and they just happened to have the right ingredients to match up to slow down Zach Edey. They don't have Zedey anymore, so you have to have Edey anymore. So you have to give the head coach Painter a whole lot of credit for getting this team in this position. He's not revolving around one player. He's actually trying to build a program here. And in today's age, when you have to pretty much redo your roster every year, give this guy all the credit in the world because he's coaching. But they're going to be in the wrong place tonight. Houston is on a mission. And just like a lot of times you get yourself in position to do something and it don't work out for you, Houston seems to be in a position where they've been in the Final Four so many times and it never worked out for them. Something happened that knocked them off. And I don't think this is the time. This just might be the year that Houston comes through and knock everybody off because the program is due for it. So because of that, Purdue is going home tonight, and we're going to see Houston taking on Tennessee for the bid in the Final Four. So those are my picks. So right now I'm sitting on 43-9, and I expect to add 4 more to it tonight. So we'll see how you guys are doing. All right. You said Michigan can win. No Cinderella teams this year. Boring. Well, I don't know if it's boring or not. I think the Cinderella part has to do with the NIL. If you're not aware of it, these big schools, they'll play against a smaller school and that that best player would score 20, 25 against them, or they go and post the stats from smaller schools and they go and offer these players a lot more money than they can make on the lower level, and they transfer. They get in the transfer portal, and it's like NBA free agency on the college level. So that's the reason why you don't see as many upsets anymore, because the players are selling out to go play for these bigger schools for a lot more money. You can't blame them. I mean, the coaches do it all the time, so you can't say that the players are wrong for doing it. But that's just the lay of the landscape. And I think that it's a savvy business move if you're a bigger school, because now instead of me going and scouring the high school ranks to try to find my next players, I can just get them from the transfer portal. It's a solid strategy if you ask me. And because of that, you have teams like Arkansas, who was seeded number 10. They're really considered as a Cinderella now because they're still playing as a 10th seed. Now, it took overtime to get rid of them last night, but that still doesn't disqualify them from being the Cinderella. And that's what you're going to see. Teams who historically that have done well in the tournament, 2, 3 seeds, and are going to be seeded 9, 10, 11. Look at North Carolina. I still don't think they should have been there, but they were a number 11 seed and very dangerous. But it also goes back to the overall point I've been making about the NCAA tournament all along. If these teams like a North Carolina that you say barely got into the tournament, they should not be seeded number 11. They should be seeded at number 16. And if you take a team that's on the bubble like North Carolina and put them at 16 to go up against a Houston or a Florida in the first round, now this tournament that everybody says so great, it explodes exponentially, because now these number 1 seeds are in jeopardy right off the bat. So if the NCAA wants to make a better tournament, then they need to put these bubble teams where they truly belong on that 15, 16 line. But they're not going to do that because they have that reserved for the smaller schools who they don't want really in the tournament in the first place. So let's go ahead and get rid of them in the first round by putting them up against that number 1 seed and go from there. So C3PO says go Kentucky. Then he says go Tennessee. What are you talking about? Are you just saying that you're a SEC fan? Clear me up there. Go Ole Miss is great too. Well, they're playing great, but I don't think that. I think Mississippi State is Michigan State is going to knock them off in the end. But there are Cinderella teams there, DVVF, VVF, whatever your name is. Michigan can win, perhaps, but I don't think that those 7-footers are going to be enough to get by Auburn. Auburn seems to got their mojo back. They're going to be a difficult team to beat. They've shown you all year long that they can play it any kind of way. They can win any kind of way. And they're going to be a very, very difficult out. But the team that I thought was playing the best, they came through last night and got away from Arizona, which is a team they played early in the year. So they knew that certain things they could do against Duke, and they can make it interesting, which they did. But Duke just playing the better ball right now, and it's going to be hard to beat them. So the team I think that's going to cut them down, and until somebody shows me different, it still is Duke. And I don't even care anything about Duke, but they are playing great basketball right now, especially that guy, Cooper Flag. All right, I asked the question, are college sports better with NIL? And most of you say, yes, it is better with NIL. Okay. Well, I think the competition maybe ticked up just a little bit, not a whole lot, because when the players weren't making any money, they were still motivated to try to get to that next level. Right now, college is the next level because I can stay in college instead of trying my hand at the pros right away after my junior year, stick around for another year or two and get paid. So that's great for the college athletes. But once the guys are paid and the game starts, nobody's thinking about that money. It's all about going and winning this game. So NIL, it gives the players advantages, but I don't think it makes them play any better because they don't have the money to worry about, and all they have to do is go out there and play. There's no pressure to try to get to that top level right now. If you're a top player, Say like the guy that's going from Tulane to Duke to play quarterback, they're going to pay him like $8 million. What does he have to worry about? He can stay over there and set himself a life. Once that money comes in, all he got to do is put it up right, and then hell, he doesn't have to do nothing else for the rest of his life. So forget about the pros and putting your body on the line that way. Go there and earn it while you're in college, man, and when you finish, go do whatever it is you want to do. So in that regard, I think that the NIL has improved the game because it betters the player's position. But once the game started, I don't think it has that much of an effect because nobody's thinking about the money during the game. So that's just my point on that. So, but just to recap, didn't have much time today because I started late, like I said. I think that the top seeds, Auburn and Houston, will pull away from their opponents tonight. And then the other games, Michigan State, they should be able to get by Ole Miss, a tough Ole Miss team, but I think Michigan State's a better program. Seen them play several times. And the other game, you have Tennessee and Kentucky in the rematch. And Kentucky's beaten them twice. Tennessee, their own impediment is their head coach. If they can overcome their head coach, then I think Tennessee is going to get by Kentucky. So those are my 4 picks for tonight. Went 4-0 yesterday. Expect to go 4-0 today as well. So I appreciate you guys chiming in with me. JC, appreciate you. Couple guys coming in, C3PO, never seen you before, and a couple other people's chimed in with me, and that's great. We got another vote on this college sports, better with NIL. Most of you are saying yes, and I tend to agree, but just a little bit. So wherever you are in the world, have a great day. But in the meantime, I got to get up out of here, man. Got to go to work, man. These kids will be coming in shortly. So catch you next time. I'm out.